A few nights ago, I dreamt that I was in a hospital bed attached to an IV receiving an overhaul mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I could even feel pain and trauma leaving my system as new life flowed into me. This is where we are right now. In the tension or hospital ward of change as a church, and also personally. Can you see it? Are you diagnosing this moment correctly? Our best days are ahead. Surrender to the process today. Regarding diagnosing this season, we are in a major growth spurt/metamorphic season. That means we will feel growing pains regularly because so much is not just changing, but feels like it's dying so that the new can emerge. That's right, this process can feel like a death because everything you have known is falling to the ground before you begin to see the new life bursting forth. Often the change of wineskins personally and corporately feels like an exposure or the deepest vulnerability, but it's God removing what we can't live in or make our home anymore. It's an emptying. Old mindsets, ways, and paradigms are all changing. The formulaic is breaking way for the new. In this time of growth, the enemy will target you in your greatest state of development and process to try to stop you entering your next season and finding your new wings. He wants your cocoon to be your tomb, which is why the assassination attempts have been relentless. But the reality is there is something so fresh and new awaiting you. God didn't lie to you when He led you to leave the familiar path years ago. You are still advancing even if you don't feel it. This tension is not easy, and we can tend to take it on personally. Have I failed? Did I miss God? Is there something wrong with me? The answer is no, but God is doing a major work in your life right now, which is why you feel so tender and raw. Be aware of the level and depth of God's healing and renewal taking place in your life right now. It's not always outwardly apparent, but He is brooding over you. He is healing you in places you didn't even know you needed it, and purging years' worth of junk you didn't even know were there. In this time, you'll feel like none of your ducks are in a row, and that's because God is temporarily messing up your ducks and rearranging them. The normal you once knew is gone and a new rhythm is here. It will feel like you are learning a new language for a while, but soon you'll speak it fluently. And I need to say this to those who feel like they have held their last sword and sung their last note: there is a second wind coming and a redemption. The enemy doesn't get to choose your legacy story, God chooses that. He wants you to lose yourself in sorrow and give in to the lies that undermine your identity and calling. But God is breathing afresh on both those areas. It's the hour of a baptism of fire where only what is needed comes back up. The church is being submerged right now, so she can emerge as the powerful bride she was called to be. It's a deliverance moment and a turning point. It's the emerging of Joseph's and the appointment of Esther's. This is our metamorphosis. So, let's diagnose the hour correctly and shake off fear and foreboding at our feet.